In Chapter 8, I describe my classroom setup. Not all flipped reading block classrooms have to look exactly the same, but there are some essential elements. One essential element is a place to house and check out technology. Another important consideration is wall design. Effective wall design anchors learning and celebrates learners. Furniture arrangement is very important in the flipped reading block classroom. The arrangement must allow for flexible grouping and movement. Finally, a robust library is essential so that we can provide choices for students. Hi, Miss Lewis.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to be in your classroom today.
Thank you. We're so glad you're here.
I want to give you a quick tour of Miss Lewis's classroom so you can see how an active reading block can be set up. We're going to begin with her library for book clubs. All of her book sets are here. Beside that, she has her iPad station. This can be used as a station, or sometimes students bring their own devices, and she has extra devices here for students who don't have one. Throughout her classroom, she celebrates the learners by hanging their work on the walls. They know they're valued. They know their work is valued. She has her book clubs posted. Students know exactly what their deadlines are for their reading. She has a place for collecting papers, and she has collectors who make this process run smoothly. She celebrates character. This is part of her culture, and this character wall shows that. If a student has demonstrated a pillar of character, the student's name is displayed on this wall. Miss Lewis keeps her students very organized. She lets them know what their day will be like by posting her schedule for the day. She has established a community of learners. Her students have jobs. They are part of a family of learners. Her classroom is called the House of Lewis. She encourages students to respect one another. I've witnessed that in her classroom. And she has a poster about respect on the wall. Students have already been in the classroom this morning, so you can see that they have their work out, ready for the day's learning. She has 34 students in this classroom, but she has arranged the classroom so that there's lots of space for students to sit on the floor, to stand and work in partners or in trios, to move into a variety of flexible groups. And now for a tour of Mrs. Morgan's classroom.
Well, I require my kids to read a certain amount of books, and I have them do it by genre to diversify their reading skills. So I have my books set up, like here I have them by genre. So I have nonfiction on this wall, I have mysteries. I go over to the other side of the room and I have the books gathered. All the fantasy books are together, all the science fiction books are together, realistic fiction and historical fiction. That way, if they need to read a certain genre or want to, I've got them together easily for them to see. Okay, I switched to tables several years ago because it does allow for grouping, and it's how the business world works, is around a conference table. For the kid who just can't sit at the table that day, they can go over here and sit on the floor, lay down if necessary. You can see there's a project work area over there, and then they have the computer cart here for them to use also. I take up a very small back corner of the room, which I really never sit at anyway because I'm usually at one of the tables or on the floor or in a small group with the kids.
And I see that you have posters in your room that relate to the learning. I'm going to zero in on one in particular. Can you tell me about this poster?
Yes, the kids often didn't know how to get started to ask their question or say their questions. So this I put up there just for them to have a starter sentence.
Beautiful. You will find many ideas for setting up your flipped reading block in Chapter 8.